Today I have two viewer request questions, and let's get started with the first one. Have you ever talked about insecurities regarding one's looks? I kind of want to hear your perspective on that. So, I totally understand and resonate with the insecurities around how I look because, number one, I come from a culture that focuses a lot on how people look, i.e., Korean culture, where like K-pop and K-beauty, all these things come from. And secondly, I used to be a teenager, and I used to have a lot of insecurities about my height. I'm like 5'10", and I had a lot of friends who were 6 feet tall, and I'm like, oh man, if only I was 6 feet tall, and blah blah blah, right? And it's still kind of there, like, but my jaw is not really symmetrical. But before it used to be like I had an underbite and a kind of like protruded outward with the slanted angle. It was a whole thing. And I got surgery for it. Basically removed my lower jaw, but it also came with a lot of like jaw clicks and bunch of other things. Like I was in need of some serious orthodontics. But anyway, got my jaw popped out, like cut it out, made it symmetrical, and then did the braces work. Horrible experience. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. So, I totally understand how looks can really like make you feel defeated, especially if you have. I think this is one of those things where you kind of don't think about if you are in the kind of the statistical mean when it comes to facial features or like the height or other genetic conditions. It tends to play out when you're at the extreme of the statistics. So in one case, if you have a feature that is really kind of on the really lower end of the statistical, like makes you look really bad, right? So for example, on Facebook, I see a lot of people these days. I think this is an excellent thing. With the facial kind of, what people would call like deformities, right? I see people with the Harlequin's disease. By the way, don't Google these things if you have a weak like stomach. But like Harlequin's disease, and I see a lot of people with like amputations. I see a lot of people with. I saw this one really motivational, inspirational creator who got attacked by a dog, and basically like most of her face has been just kind of like chewed off by that dog attack. And so I see a lot of positive comments there too, but at the same time I see a lot of negative comments like critiquing like, why, oh, you're making me feel like disgusted or like blah blah blah, right? So that's like way extreme. But if you have a nose that looks like this, like its angle is like extremely up, your jaw is like extremely kind of like it's not misaligned, and things like that, then you tend to be very insecure about those traits. Or when you are at the higher end, right? When you look absolutely stunning and beautiful, now what starts to come into play is like, what if I lose this? What if people are only nice to me because I look good, right? These things happen a lot to the people who look good. And this is kind of like saying they're both the same, two sides of the same coin, right? When you attach your happiness on one thing, you either get it and fear losing it, or you don't have it and then you feel bad, right? So it's sort of a lose-lose game here. And but the nice thing about insecurities around look is that what I want to tell you in this video gives you kind of a general solution to all insecurities. And the general solution to that is, I'm going to briefly pause the recordings to get the captions back. Insecurities generally pop up because of this doubt caused by the shame, right? What if people see me as, what if they find out? It's sort of related to imposter syndrome in that vein. So you're worrying about your true nature, your ugliness without the makeup and anything like that, all those things. You're worried about that being revealed and people seeing you for who you are, a monstrosity, a disfigured, like whatever, right? So, what if that is true, right? What if you don't have to contemplate anymore whether or not you are like pretty or not? What if you just decide that you're ugly, right? Suppose this hypothesis, suppose this question, lingering question behind the shadow of doubt, suppose it's just clear now. Okay, I am ugly, right? Compared to the K-pop stars, I am ugly. Compared to all the models, I am short, right? Compared to like the bodybuilders, my muscles are shit. My body looks like crap. And so, suppose that is all true. Life continues. You will continue to need to pay your taxes. You will continue to need to go through your education. You will continue to need to make money. You will continue to do all the things that you're doing today while just feeling bad. Okay, and so at first that novelty of people deciding and you deciding that you are ugly, right? That will come as a shock, and you will go through a phase of feeling really bad, like an accident, right? But then after about a year or two, you're gonna get used to your face. And you're gonna get used to the fact that, hey, I am ugly. And just like how good things you get used to, bad things you also get used to. And then you can continue to feel bad about it, but you're gonna find that over time, over a long period of time, like say 20 years pass, you're gonna find that so much of your life energy has been drained down the fact that you're ugly. But why? Is being ugly a sin? Did you do anything wrong to deserve that kind of suffering fate? You didn't, right? All you did was just be born the way that you are. There's no deep, universal, inherently wrong problem with being ugly that makes you feel like you deserve to go into a corner and never come out again, right? So once you reach this state, you realize that being ugly and being pretty, it loses all of its powers on you. Because why? You stop caring. When you get into college, in using early decision in America, basically in America you can apply to colleges at the first semester of your senior year, and you can get a decision whether you're gonna go to that university at the end of the first semester. So chances are you get you get chosen by the university, and hey, now you don't even need to care about school. Who cares if you get detention? Who cares if you get an F? I already got into the school. It's a decision, right? So just like that, when you get into a college, like all the senior year stuff, like all the academic pressure means nothing. Why? So school loses its power on you because why? You're just as good as you graduated, right? So just like that, when you accept that fact that you are ugly and you go through that phase of feeling really bad about it, and then after a certain point you realize, but why? What did I do so wrong? And that's when the illusion shatters, right? Being ugly, being pretty, life goes on. It's just one feature of life. You can be the ugliest person in the world, and you will still smile at the sight of really adorable dogs. And you will still have a really delicious meal. And you will still have a nice relationship with yourself if you open your heart to yourself, which can lead to relationships with other people. You will still laugh at funny movies and YouTube clips. Life will go on. Looks are just one part of this really diverse experience called life. And I understand that it feels bad. Okay, then feel bad. But you gotta realize, life has so much more to offer than thinking about just looks. And if you broaden your horizons, and if you can apply this mindset to let's say you're insecure about your intelligence. Okay, decide that you're stupid. But guess what? Even if you're stupid, even if you got a 200 on your SATs, even if you didn't go to college, life goes on. You can still take advantage of all the things that your government, local city government gives you grants for. If you're severely intelligence challenged, right? There's a lot of things that can make you happy. Again, you're gonna eat great food. You're gonna wear nice clothing. All these things are possible to you, even if you're stupid, even if you're ugly, even if you're like anything. So insecurity only has its power when that like dominating force is like controlling you. And that control comes from that doubt, self-doubt. You want to be this, but what if I'm not? What if people like find out that I'm not good enough? Let them find out. Life will go on. It'll be the same day tomorrow. Same sun, same bed. Even if you are whatever you are afraid to be. And that's the general answer to insecurity.